If AI assistants were your new storefront, would your products even show up on the shelves? Today, we're diving into e-commerce AI search optimization and this new thing called GEO, especially for brands selling in multiple regions. Chris, you've been knee-deep in this world lately. Why has AI search suddenly become such a big deal for e-commerce brands?
Because AI answer engines stopped being experiments and quietly became one of the main ways people discover products. Google's AI overviews are reaching over 1 billion users a month. ChatGPT is at about 700 million weekly users with integrated shopping, and Google's shopping graph is tracking tens of billions of product listings in near real time. On top of that, more than half of consumers say they're using Gen AI tools instead of traditional search for product recommendations, and over 70% actually want AI built into their shopping experiences.
So the traffic is already there. This isn't hypothetical anymore. For a multi-region retailer listening right now, what's the core question they should be asking themselves?
It's no longer, should we care about AI search? It's how do we actually win in AI search and agentic shopping across all our markets? And that's where this idea of generative engine optimization, or GEO, comes in.
Let's unpack that, because GEO sounds like SEO's younger, cooler cousin. What exactly is generative engine optimization for e-commerce?
GEO is the practice of improving how large language models, AI search engines, and shopping agents see, understand, and recommend your products. Instead of fighting for blue links on a search results page, you're optimizing for inclusion and ranking inside AI answers, placement in AI shopping modules, and eligibility when an AI agent is auto-building a basket or comparing SKUs. Interestingly, research shows that adding things like citations, quotes, and stats can boost a source's visibility in generative answers by up to about 40%, so evidence really matters.
That's a big lift, just from how you present evidence. For an e-commerce brand, how does GEO translate into practical work?
3 big buckets. First, structured product evidence. Machine-readable specs, prices, reviews, and availability, so the AI can see your catalog clearly. Second, multi-model coverage, because different AI models behave differently, and their visibility varies by region. And third, continuous monitoring and optimization. This isn't about rewriting a description once, it's an ongoing program.
You mentioned multimodal coverage, and I think that's a mindset shift. Why is it not enough to just optimize for Google anymore?
Because there isn't a single AI search channel. You've got ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, and more, each with its own citation patterns and biases. One study that looked at over 17 million citations found, for instance, that SearchGPT cited official hotel websites around 38% of the time, while other models sat closer to 17 to 22%. And Claude leaned more on user-generated content. Another study showed about 86% of AI citations come from brand-managed sources, mainly first-party sites and listings, once you factor in location. So owning your structured data in each region is critical.
So if you're not feeding the AI through your own sources, you're basically invisible or getting represented by someone else's data. What are the implications of that for a brand operating across, say, the US, Europe, and Canada?
It means you can't just watch one number from one engine. You have to track visibility across multiple models and regions. You need to control your feeds and listings in each market, currencies, availability, shipping, all of it. And you need measurement at a query plus location level, not just a global how are we doing average that hides regional gaps.
Let's get into the foundations, because I can hear listeners thinking, okay, what do we actually implement first? How important is structured data, like schema, in all of this?
It's absolutely foundational. Google explicitly says their AI features rely on the same core systems as traditional search, which means structured data is still the backbone. At minimum, every product page should expose product, offer, and review schema in a clean, machine-readable way. That includes unique SKUs and product IDs, region-specific offers with accurate currency and stock status, plus ratings and reviews encoded so AI can treat them as trust signals.
And then there's the product feed, which a lot of teams treat as a compliance checkbox instead of a strategic asset. What does good look like in, say, Google Merchant Center for GEO?
You want rich, spec-heavy titles and descriptions, precise IDs that tie back to your catalog, and clean links to canonical product URLs. Prices, sale prices, availability, taxonomies, GTINs, shipping, and custom labels all need to be accurate because AI surfaces and shopping agents lean hard on these feeds. The same mindset applies to OpenAI's merchant integrations. If your feed is thin or inconsistent, you're handicapping the AI from recommending you.
You brought up AI agents and agentic commerce, which is still new language for some people. Can you give an example of how a JSON feed tailored for agents helps?
Imagine a minimal JSON feed where each product lists variants by region. So a jacket has separate entries for US and Canada, each with its own currency, price, stock, and shipping times. That lets an AI shopping agent answer something like best waterproof jacket under $150 in Canada by explicitly checking region, price, and availability fields instead of guessing. You're essentially giving the AI the exact columns it needs to reason at the SKU level and build baskets that actually ship where the customer is.
Marketplaces are another huge piece, especially when AI answers lean on them for best under X price recommendations. What does GEO look like when your products are primarily sold on marketplaces?
The name of the game there is attribute completion and consistency. If someone asks for a 55-inch TV under a certain price, the AI is going to rely on marketplace fields like screen size, panel type, resolution labels, ports, and energy ratings. So you need a PIM or feed layer that maps your internal specs into each marketplace's specific attribute schema, so all those details are filled and normalized across regions.
All right, let's talk measurement, because you can't improve what you can't see. What are the key GEO metrics brands should be tracking?
Start with AI share of voice. That's the percentage of relevant AI answers where your brand or SKUs show up. Then break it down with answer presence rate by intent, so you know how you perform on research versus comparison versus transactional queries, and track your top position recommendation rate when you do appear. For agentic flows, you also want SKU eligibility rate. How often at least one of your SKUs makes it into an AI-built basket or comparison, and over time, a directional view of AI-attributed revenue lift.
Can you paint a quick picture of what a useful AI search dashboard looks like for a multi-region brand?
You'd slice by region first: US, UK, Germany, France, and within each, see AI SOV by model, top 1 recommendation rates, and SKU eligibility for your top revenue products. Then you'd add a model view that shows citation trends by ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and so on, plus which sources they're citing, your site or competitors. Layer on category views and an outcome layer tying those metrics to revenue trends, and you've got a practical control center for GEO.
How often should teams actually be looking at these metrics without drowning in data?
Weekly, you check AI SOV and SKU eligibility for your priority categories and markets. Monthly, you'd run deeper multimodal audits and push feed or content updates. Every quarter, you zoom out for program-level ROI and adjust your GEO roadmap by region.
Let's talk about how to run those audits systematically, because ad hoc prompts won't scale. What's a solid way to build a query set for multimodal AI audits?
Start with high-intent seeds, your brand plus category, category plus qualifiers like under $150, and problem-based questions like what to wear hiking in rainy weather. Then localize by region and language. Add GEO modifiers, local currencies, and local phrasing. Aim for 50 to 150 queries per core market, balanced across research, comparison, and transactional intents, and use those consistently across models over time.
Once you have that query set, how do you actually test whether specific SKUs are showing up in AI assistants?
You design standardized shopping assistant prompts, like asking ChatGPT or Gemini to recommend 3 jackets under a price in a specific country, or to build a comparison table for products with certain constraints. For each answer, you log whether your brand appears, how many SKUs show up, your first position, and where the links go, your site, Amazon, or another marketplace. Captured consistently, that data powers all your SOV and eligibility metrics.
And what fields should teams log to make this data actually useful over time?
At minimum, timestamp, model name and version, interface, region and language, the exact query, and a few outcome flags like brand present, SKU count, first mention position, and where the answer links.
You also tag the answer type, list, table, paragraph, because different formats can influence click behavior. With that structure, you can trend your AI SOV and eligibility by model, region, and category.
Let's shift to tools, because this ecosystem is evolving fast and can feel overwhelming. What kinds of tools are out there for marketplace listing optimization specifically for generative search?
You've got marketplace managers like Channel Advisor, now Rhythm, that handle listings across Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and others with strong attribute mapping and regional control. Product Sup focuses on product content syndication and complex taxonomy mapping, especially in the EU. And Sales Layer is a PIM geared towards centralizing SKU data and marketplace connections.